Good morning. This is Margaret at the University of Sewing, and it's Facebook Live. Unfortunately, dear Denise is not feeling well this morning, so she didn't come in and join us, but I'm here, and it's a fabulous, glorious Friday in Bloomington. If you haven't been outside this morning yet, it is just a spectacular day, and not too humid, which is really lovely. Okay, so we have a lot to cover today, but I want to start off with something really, really fun, and then we'll come back to some other things. So those of you who have done embroidery know that typically when you are going to do something like a tote bag, you have to take it apart. And that's what we had to do with this particular bag. We made this several weeks ago, and we took it apart, and then we embroidered University of Sewing across it, which didn't that turn out cute? So we did that, and then guess what? The new free arm embroidery hoop has shown up on the scene. This thing is fabulous, and you are going to be just so thrilled that you are going to be able to make your own tote bags without taking them apart now. So that is how we did this one, which we did last night right before we left. And look at this. It also has a sweet Bernina on it. And you don't have to take the bag apart anymore, guys. So, really exciting news on that front.
And what are you giving away today?
We're going to give away this bag. So, you can get your very own Bernina University of Sewing bag from us if you share today. So, make sure.
Like Donna.
Well, thank you, Donna. So, go on Facebook, hit the share button, go down in the comments and tell us you shared, and we're going to give away this great bag. But I am going to show you just how amazing this little thing is, because we're going to do a demo this morning. So we thought it would be grand fun to show you how simple this is. We just went ahead and put the bag on. And you know something, we put the bag on the machine. We're going to use our 700 demo unit to do this. And you know, something you might want to think about, if you're thinking about embroidery, a dedicated machine to do your embroidery is pretty fabulous. So this 700 is a demo machine, and you could get it for a very special price. Now look at this. So what's happened here is you've got the hoop on, and the way it's made is that this hoop is actually, you put the bottom down and then you put this on that's attached to the top of the hoop, and then you attach it to the embroidery unit. And look at that, all of this is underneath, and you just kind of arrange it so that it's not a grand mess. And so what we're going to do today, to just show you how wonderful this is, we're going to start sewing on this. And we're going to come back at the end of our Facebook Live and show you what a great experience this has been, because it's so easy. So I want to remind you that those hoops are on a special price right now. Now, I'm down to one. So we're down to one hoop, and that means that if you want that hoop, that's fine. But you know what? I've got 5 more coming in. And
we were just told they're being shipped.
And we were told they're being shipped. So we should have more of them in the store. So you can always pre-purchase at that great price. And don't forget, and next week, hopefully I can show you how the medium clamp hoop works with the quilted fabric. And you'll be able to see that. Now this special deal on these hoops only goes through August the 15th. Just like what we are doing on our special pricing on our Bernina special edition Kaufman machines. We have this gorgeous 770 with all of the bells and whistles. It comes with a grand embroidery package, pretty gorgeous bags that go with it, and also software. So this is a really, really nice deal. Then you have the most colorful Bernina sewing machine ever. It's going to be teal with flowers on it. You know what? I think this would make the prettiest Christmas present for so many different people. I'm thinking of the young sewer who's just getting started, who you're trying to encourage. I'm thinking of my granddaughters. Don't tell them. So I'm going to go see them next week. And is it next week, Dave? It is next weekend. So I won't be here next weekend. So I'm going to go see them next weekend. And I'm thinking about taking a picture of this and showing my grandson and my son and my daughter-in-law to think about for the girls for a Christmas present. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. One of the other things I want to make sure that you're thinking about, now remember, I'm just going to go back to August 15th is the end of those special prices, because this is a pre-order, and you know, I just need to know how many I'm selling. And so by you purchasing it ahead of time, you're going to get a great deal, and I'm going to know that they're sold. Because you know what, I told you last week, and I'm still there, we have an incredible inventory right now. And it is time for you to think about what kind of deal you want. First of all, I did miss something, and Dave asked me to talk about this. I forgot to tell you. Look at all the cool threads we've got. We are going to be eventually carrying all the Issacore threads, but we have some great package deals right now where you can get like this 30 spool. These are all 1,000 meters each, and there's a really nice variety. This is great for all-purpose sewing and for your embroidery. So, and their prices are wonderful. So look at that and see, this is a great deal. This one has 35 of the most common used threads that Issacore offers. So this one's always a great idea. So if maybe when you buy your sewing machine, did you know when you buy a sewing machine here, we give you a discount of 20% off? We do.
Margaret, let's push the start button.
Push the start button. Yes, I just realized that. We're going to see how this works. So, well, it would help if I pressed it long enough. There we go. We're going to get started. That $700 is a special price. We've got, did you know we have a stock of 770 pluses in the store? And not only that, but we did an event about a month and a half, 2 months ago now. And that particular event, we had a couple of machines that we used, so we're offering those at special event prices. We've got new ones that we're offering, and they come with a gift with purchase. And so the gift with purchase on our 770s, let's take a quick look at that. You are going to be able to get, with that 770, you're going to get a ruler kit, you're going to get the big book of quilting, you're going to get presser foot set, you're going to get walking foot. That's a $200 value right there. And you're going to get the suitcases. The suitcases are so expensive. And this is right off the bat, you're going to get a $400 deal with having that. So all those free gifts, $1,400 in free gifts. So really, really good deal on that. Don't forget though, if you're not maybe in the situation where you can afford a new machine, although I will tell you that Bernina credit card right now is offering a great deal, and you can go ahead and sign up for that right on our website. And for a new machine, you can get 0% interest. If you're looking at a 770, you can do that for 48 months. So that's really wonderful, and those are amazing. That 0% interest is going to get you right into the machine you want. Okay, so 550. This 550 is obviously an older machine. This isn't one of the new Bernina machines, but this machine is a fabulous machine. It was owned by someone who took really good care of it. And then just to make this all really great, it comes with a stitch regulator. So you've got the wonderful sewing machine, you've got a stitch regulator, a bag. It comes with this manual. You get help with us on learning how to use it. It's only $1,200, guys. Really, really good deal. So if you're in a situation where you want a Bernina, but you're on a really strict budget, that one's a great deal. Okay, so we've got that. Now, did you realize the Bernette 77 and the 79 also come with gifts with purchase? They're going to come with a really nice foot set, and the 79 does both sewing and embroidery. Now, I had someone buy the 77 recently, and she said that she just loves that machine. So, I want to remind you about that. We've got this excellent 790 right here. It is a brand new machine. You're going to get all the gifts with purchase with this one. Now, this one, remember, it comes with embroidery. So, you're going to get your embroidery bundle. You're going to get the suitcase system. You're going to get a presser foot set that's going to include your 10D, your 20D, your 34. Now, you might not know what those are, but like, for example, the 10D is your stitch in the ditch foot, your top stitching foot. You're going to get ruler foot with this. You're going to go ahead and get a Teflon foot to do those interesting projects that we always want to do and we hesitate because we don't have that Teflon foot. You're going to get the clear foot with all the markings in the 34D, and that one's really helpful when you're doing some intricate piecing work. Then you get the 20D, and you guys have been around for a while, probably know that the 20 foot is my favorite. It's an open-toed foot, and it does a gorgeous job. And those are all the D feet, so it's going to work with that dual feed that the 790 comes with. Did you know we're doing Black Bobbin Mastery classes again in-house? We had a class yesterday, and it was really cute. We had 2 women, both named Joyce, here for that. So it was pretty fun. And we're going to be doing the Black Bobbin Embroidery Mastery. Now, when we say Black Bobbin, we're talking about our 5 series, our 7 series, and our 8 series machines. Do you have an embroidery unit and you've been hesitant to use it? Maybe because of COVID, you didn't go out and do any kind of lessons on it. Maybe you just need a refresher. Maybe you're thinking about getting embroidery. If that's the case, may I suggest that you take our Black Bobbin Mastery class with the embroidery, because you don't even have to own that machine. It's nice if you do, but you can come to a class, we'll set you up with a machine, and you can try it out. Or you have, say, a 770, you're thinking about adding the embroidery, bring your 770, we will pull out one of our embroidery units and you can learn how to use that. And then you can make an educated decision as to whether you want to do that or not. You're not going to believe this. Guess what we have right now? We have a used 790. It has so few stitches on it, it almost seems like a crime to call it used. It was only in the owner's possession for less than a year, and they decided they wanted a crystal edition instead. So we ended up with this gorgeous machine, and it is in, they didn't even, this is a crack up, they didn't even take their plastic off of the front of the machine. So it's like getting a brand new machine at a wonderful, wonderful price. So there's a possibility for you if you're, like I said, if you're thinking about your pennies and you want to look at that. But you know what? If you're buying a Bernina sewing machine, you can use the Bernina credit card. All right, we have 570 here, same kind of thing. Somebody decided to move up, and they decided to move up into a 790. And once they did that, now we have this gorgeous little 570 here ready to go. And it's a used machine. Now, all of our used machines, 60-day, full warranty, you can return it for any reason. So I just want you to know, we've got a couple of great machines out here. And remember I was talking to you about the 770 Plus? We've got that as an event machine. So again, really good discount on those. And so if you are in the market and you're worried that you can't afford new, this might be the actual answer for you. And since you've got that 60 days to sew on it and play with it and make sure it's what you want, you can make sure that that machine is just perfect, and then you can have it as the wonderful discounted prices, really good deal. Now, I want to point out again, we did talk about it a little bit last week, but I'm going to show you once again, this 590, she wants to go home with you. She's so pretty and elegant and gorgeous, and don't you deserve to have an elegant machine? You're going to get your embroidery unit with it. By the way, that's the high-speed 5 series embroidery unit. You've got all these gorgeous bags that go with it. It comes with embroidery stabilizer. It comes with a box full of crystals. It is such a sweet deal, and we only have one. So it's a really great deal. And did you notice it fits in this table just fine? So if you've got a smaller space and you're worried about going ahead and having that in a smaller space, this very economical horn table might be your answer. All right, we're gonna come back out here. Did you know the gift with purchase sale that's going on right now includes the Q series? It does. And so we want to make sure that we cover that here really. And yes, we have the Laura Star. We've been playing with it a little bit. I'm getting to know her. I'm going to wait until I know her just a little bit better, and then I'm going to show her off to you. Won't be too long. So I want to make sure though that we talk about, we've got a great koala table Q20 on here. And this guy has been visiting with us a little longer than I would like. And so we have got a special deal in store about this. So if you've been thinking about sit down Q, this might be the machine for you. It is lovely. These come apart like this. Look how far out this goes. In fact, it goes out so far I can't stand there. So this comes out, you put in a little table which stores under the table. And there you go.
And that's for each side.
On each side. It's really lovely how much room you have with this. So, you know, one of the things you probably don't realize is these cues, they come with great big bobbins on them, so you're not changing them as often. So you've got the setup for your cones, you've got the big bobbins, and you've got this ready to go with 2-stitch regulators and all this space to quilt your quilt on it. So it is pretty fabulous. So we've also got over here a really nice Q16 on a foldable table. And there are some good deals to be had on these two machines. So we would love to send you home with one of those. If you come in, I'll show you how to use it. All right. We have a Q16 Plus and a studio frame. Now this one is set up at 5 feet, but remember the studio frames can go from 5 to 10 feet. If you set it up at 10 feet, guess what guys, you can have a Q-matic go with it. It is really spectacular. And right now, if you can make this purchase now, you are gonna get this great big box of quilting stuff with it. And it is really fabulous. You get 3 sets of extra bobbins along with what comes with the Q16 Plus. You get a ruler work foot. You are going to get the double needle plate. You are going to get double needles so that you can do really cool decorative work with those. You are going to get these gorgeous black scissors that Bernina has for this particular box. And you know what? You can't get them any other way. So that is really fabulous. You are going to get some really fun red cording, Bernina red. And what you're going to do with that cording is you are going to use it with your lovely 43 cording foot on your Q. And you can make some really gorgeous decorative stuff using that. Then you're going to get some extra needles. You are going to get a laser pointer for this. I think the lasers are fantastic and you're going to be really happy you have one of these. Then you are also going to get an extra spool holder so you can store extra thread up here. And the other thing you're going to get is your horizontal spool pins. So if you want to use decorative threads, you are going to be set and ready to go. So that all comes with this, but I do want to remind you, one of the things you could add, and most people like to add, is this ruler work kit. You can add this one, now it's extra, that's true, but if you buy it at the same time you buy your Q16 Plus, then you can get it for 20% off. So that's a really good deal. But you know what? What's the really best fun thing about all of this is that you can go ahead and you would get that whether you get the Q-matic or not, but if you get the Q-matic, then you're going to be able to stand here and just sew. You can do free motion when you want to, or you can add the Q-matic, and then it will quilt for you, much like we're doing that embroidery in the other room. And it's just embroidering away. Imagine if your quilting frame was set up, you have a Q-matic, and you have it set up to quilt. You can sew your quilts, and then you can come over here and you can quilt one of them while you're sewing a different one. And maybe you have the embroidery going off on the same time. And look at all the things you're getting accomplished. You're going to be ready for Christmas in about 15 minutes. So if you haven't seen how this works and how much fun this is, there is no two ways about it. This moves beautifully. It is really fun. It is just such a nice machine. And I have had such a ball learning about all the things that these can do. So I am sewing along here, and I can do my waves, and I can do my free motion. Doing your stippling work on something like this is just so much fun. When you realize that what you can do is that you can make this all on your own. You can do it as decoratively or as simply as you want, between the roller work, the free motion, and then adding the Q-matic. You can get so creative with these machines. It is really fantastic. You can do thread painting, you can do couching. The world is your oyster when you have a Q16 Plus and a Q-matic.
So can people just come in and play with it?
They can. They can. And I'd love to have you come in and just use this for a couple of minutes, because you will see with all the controls right up here in front. I wind my bobbin from the front. I have my controls all in the front. Loading it is super simple. We've got an area here to attach our quilt to. You can float your top, or you can have everything there. This is ready to go. It's so simple and so easy to use. You are going to have such a good time. And I know that because you couldn't have told me a couple years ago I'd be this excited about quilting my own quilts again. I really am. It's really fabulous, and you're going to have a good time with it. Okay, don't forget, share today and get this wonderful University of Sewing bag that we just embroidered just for you. So it's got University of Sewing on one side, it's got the Bernina on the other side, and you know what, Dave? I don't hear any embroidery going on anymore.
You know, it's kind of risky too, because now we have to make sure it worked.
It is a little risky. We're live, and maybe it isn't. But you know what? If you share, you're going to get that wonderful tote bag.
Now, Margaret,
Dave quilted just for you.
Before we go over there, Margaret, I want to point out, yes, the Qs are more expensive than just your regular sewing machine.
Well, that's true.
But what does Dave say?
They're a lot cheaper than a bass boat. So, all right, guys, come on. Let's go over and take a look and see what happened with that embroidery. Hopefully, we're going to find out it turned out okay. You know, like Dave said, it is a little bit of a challenge sometimes when you go and you do something like this and you're like, okay, did we get there? I think we did. I think it just did it without us doing anything. Look at this. This is so fun. It went ahead and sewed University of Sewing for us. And notice, yeah, we have a few carrier threads, but the majority of them are all gone. We don't have that issue, because there's a special thing on a Bernina embroidery called cutaway, and it cuts away the thread. So that's really fun. And now we're going to take this off of here. And it's so easy. I thought that would be a lot more complicated.
And Margaret, just go from the other side. It has a quick release. Just squeeze those two.
Which ones do I do?
Those two right there.
These two.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You know what? Do you guys getting the impression Dave knows more about this than I do? You might be right. So look at that. This is really different how this is put together. So here you are with, and then you just, there it is. This is really wonderful. That is going to be so much fun. Can you just imagine? Now,